All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do this pretty quick. Here's 2024. We had like a hammer candle, and a falling candle. Here's today, and these are lined up exactly, guys. I just brought 2024 over. I copied and pasted it, and the two candles look pretty much identical. We like failed because once we get above this where is that? Like 294, you probably just move. So we literally like failed here today and then held support, held breakout. And I'll show you what breakout means. So we broke out and back tested. This is the 4-hour candle. It shows a breakout and back test for today. And let me move that out of the way. So see those last two candles? See these last two candles? Identical. This is the same line that they held above. See how breaking under that was a fake out, and then now back test, stay above. Breaking under this was a fake out, break out, stay above, moon tomorrow. So it's the same line, guys. It's the same line, the reaction line. I tell you, places on the chart, they never change. This, like I said, this is like jumping on a roller coaster over 294 tomorrow, is my opinion, but we'll see. It is AMC. And then look at the match on the algo. I mean, it's pretty close. The timing, everything. We're actually like 3 days late. See if I line up the bottoms perfectly. We are exactly, each one of these is 4-hour candles. So we're about 2.5 days late on the move. So we probably just needed the back test today. And AMC loves to run off of sell downs like this. It's all it runs off of, to tell you the truth. Look at this, sell down, pop. Sell down, gap. Sell down, rip. Sell down, rip. That's all it does. If we were up today, I would say it's bearish. But the way we traded down, and we did this exact same thing in 2021. We did actually 2 gap ups back to back and gap and craps like today. Gap up and crap, and then the third day they gapped it up 500%. I think it gapped from 5 to 22 in the morning. So if we did something similar tomorrow, we could gap up to, or maybe we just gap and crap again tomorrow, and then gap up 500% Wednesday to 15. It'd be very similar. Is if we gap straight to like 13 to 15, like opened at 15 or 13, opened, not traded. Like 2021, literally did this, did that, gap and crap, and then opened 500% higher the next day, went way down, and then closed at the high, and then gapped down the following day. So if we did gap that high up, I guarantee it's going to be rocky through the day. But let me show you a couple more charts. All right, I'll start out whispering because this thing will get way too loud. So if you do this thing called a trend line, you just say you took it from here, from a pivot, and then you put it to that top pivot, and you'd say, wow, bro, that's a perfect breakout and back test today. How about that? And then you just say you carry this line down just because you wanted to see if it's a valid trend line, because it's perfect breakout back test today. Then you could say, oh, look at that. You could put it down here at the bottom of this trend and say, oh, look at that. Last time we were at the bottom of this trend. We're kind of in a channel, right? Here, let me straighten it out so it matches. Look how beautiful that channel. Boom, 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 boom. False break down, break back into the channel. Test the bottom, break out, back test, gap up, and go tomorrow. All right. Give me a sec. Same thing here. You're in a range of 280 to 290. 290 being this high. 280 of being the pivot low today. So the pivot low tomorrow will be 280. I expect if we open anything over 290, we're gone. The low pivot in 2024, this low pivot right here before it mooned, look up top, 291. So it literally closed at 291, or no, it hit 291 the day before, and then just gapped up the following day. So let's have a look. 291 here, look, it closed the same 2 candles we pretty much just had today. This is a 4-hour chart. We had like a smash down kind of hammer candle and then a falling candle. But we held support, we held breakout. Same thing this did. It broke, back tested, back tested, back tested, and then it just gapped. So if we did the same thing, expect to open at the top of the range, which shows around my magic number, about 352. Top of range, slam down, and moon. So if we translate that to current day, I had some good coffee today. Let's translate that to current day. So the top of the range, I'm going to say the top of the range could be as high as $4. But I would say reasonably, it's probably $3.19. So that's the top of the last range before we fell off to all-time lows. So if you open at $3.19 tomorrow, you can maybe expect to slam down to $2.90, $3.05, and then a move. So if you open at $3.19, don't be surprised if it slams down to $2.90, $2.90, or maybe just $3.05. $3.19, $3.05, go. All the same day, immediately, on huge volume. But that's what I would expect, but that's just me. The MACD tells the story to me. And the crap coin. We hit a new, we haven't rolled over at all on the MACD. This is on the 4 hour. Let's look at the daily on the MACD. Look at it straight up. We just made a new high. So this first run, whoops, I'm getting loud. This first run, we made a high. We just broke that first high. So we're going for this high. And we're going straight up. That's on the daily. So that's pretty much a breakout on the MACD today. And we had a higher high and a higher low on the stock. The weekly is ridiculous. It's like literally almost straight up. So again, like just if you look at this on the weekly, and you just said, hey, let's just, these were already in place. I think I have one more chart to show you. Yeah, this would be the final chart. So I already had this chart in place before today. And I looked at it tonight because I have so many charts. We have the inverted head and shoulders. That triggers a target of, at minimum, right here to the center line, about 1081. Somewhere, this is a measured move, 882. But, we'll overshoot it. So 891 to, 1678, somewhere around there is kind of my minimum, 8 to 16. It's a big range, right? But here we go. I already had this drawn before. These lines were already here. So if we zoom in and look at today, what do? Well, this line is the top of this range, the top pivot. I drew it over to where we stalled out over here on the daily chart. And then I drew it over, and it was already here. And today, we actually broke out at backtest. Nothing wrong with that. AMC always loves to run off these red candles, guys. I tell you, it trades backwards. If we would have had a big green candle like this today, I would have been skeptical. But since it looked like a false break, and you didn't reject though. You just backtested and you chilled, and you had good volume, and huge volume after hours. And a break a back test on AMC in a red day, probably a gap up. 80% of the time when AMC trades down like this, gap up or a big update. Trade down, update. This was the only normal thing I've ever seen AMC do. Come down, have a hammer candle, and then just trade up. That's rare. It always has like a red candle before it gaps up. Red candle, probably a gap up. Down here, the all-time low, had our sell-off candle, then a hammer candle, then another hammer candle, and it was that was real choppy. But yeah, here was a red candle, same as this candle, and then it took off. So at minimum, we just need to pass this, our parabolic line, whatever you want to call it. It moved up to 374. It was here on Friday around 350s, but it's up to 374. So could we gap up to there, 372, pull back into range, into 309? Yep. You can gap you can gap as high as you want. And this, if it's an impulse wave, you're not going to fill the gap, guys. You'll probably scare into it and then reverse and then take off. Very similar to like this. Well, let's look over here. Let's look at 2021. I expect something like this. You could say this is very similar, But we have no overhead. See, we have no real overhead resistance. We just broke out back tested today. So, I don't know. Could be similar to this right here, where maybe you make a fake lower and then take off, and then gap, gap, gap into Friday. But I think we're more like, we're already above 200-day moving average everything. So I think we're more kind of like this candle today, or like this candle. See how both of these were red ahead of this 500% gap up? This candle closed at $27 and you open up the next morning at $107. We're about right here, guys. But maybe we're here. Maybe we do it. This is why I was saying, did we gap and crap today? Did we gap and crap tomorrow? And then do we just gap 500% Wednesday? I don't know. The stock trades flipping backwards. Yeah, this looks like a reversal hammer candle, like, oh, we're going to reverse lower. Nope. It's just AMC. They never stop shorting it, guys. They gap up, they short it, gap up again, they short it, and then they get smoked on a 500% gap up from a $26 close to a $107 open. Maybe tomorrow. That would be 25, 55, 70. That's 400%. So if we're at $3 roughly, that'd be a $12 open. $12 on the open. If we did the same thing. So let's look at 2024. Same sell-off candle, held in range, just like today, like a back test. Gapped up a little bit, but there was resistance. There was movement. We're already above all these bands. So we're already above this, the 200. So can we just gap and go? I think you can gap without pulling back when you're, because the only reason why this pulled back into range was the back test this moving average. So you could, I guess, like the 10-week or something. I'm not even going to worry about it. But when you have nothing but the parabola line, what if you gap to like 420 and then you slam back into this parabola line at 374 and then go? That would be more likely to me, is to have a bigger gap up and slam into this line. Because look at all our moving averages. We're clear. We're like blue skies, guys. I don't know why everybody's like, oh, we need to pull back and all this. No, we're in a blue sky breakout. The only thing you need to do is start moving. And it's very apparent on the weekly and the monthly charts. Let's go to the month. It's super apparent, right? This is the start of the month. All you did is just barely tap last month's high today, which we closed at 282 last month. So you just tagged it. You didn't go into last month's candle, so you probably just pressed. These candles all went into the this just tapped the previous month's top or close. This one went below the previous month's close, and this one just tapped it. So it's very bullish. And at the beginning of the month, if today was at the beginning of the month, I would imagine we would have ran. I think there was a higher probability of running. I told members last night I kind of don't expect it to run until Tuesday or Wednesday. So anyway, guys, that's the hopefully my last video. I'm gonna keep saying that. Anyway, enjoy.